Welcome to a video that may strip away the comforting illusions you've carried since the first day you stepped into trading. I won't say what's pleasant to hear. I'm not here to soothe or reassure you. I'm here to dismantle what has been quietly and relentlessly killing your account day after day. Because the truth is this: trading is not a dream of financial freedom. It is a massive machine designed to draw money from the hands of the most naive and the most greedy. You think you're a trader? No, you are the fuel. Every click of your mouse is a naive prayer sent to a market that doesn't even know you exist. You enter trades with hope, you hold them with emotion, you cling to losing positions out of pride. You lose because you don't understand how this game is designed. And the cruelest part? It's designed to make you feel like you're almost right. You don't step away because you believe that if you just push a little harder, you'll make it back. Surely this time the market will turn. One more course, one more lesson, and it will be enough. No, you're being manipulated, not by the market, but by the illusion you created yourself. Do you know why 95% of traders never make money? It's not because they lack knowledge, it's because they lack the truth. And today, I will tell you the things no textbook or course ever says plainly. I will lay bare 10 principles, rules that only those who actually make money live by. Not flashy secrets, not magical tools, not copied signals from someone else, but ways of thinking, ways of living, ways of acting as a trader who has been through real battles. If you think this video is just for entertainment, turn it off now. If you're looking for something gentle and easy to listen to, this isn't for you. But if you've blown accounts before, if you've wanted to quit, if you've sat in silence watching your balance fall to zero and still didn't walk away, then welcome. You're about to hear things that may change how you see the market forever. I don't promise you'll become a millionaire after this video, but I can say this: after 35 minutes, you will never trade the same way again. Thank you to those who subscribed to my channel from the very beginning, when it was still unknown and rough, with no eye-catching thumbnails, no effects, no polish, just a voice and a sincere heart. Thank you to those who patiently listened to every podcast when I was still struggling between right and wrong, between certainty and doubt, when I couldn't yet call myself an inspirer, only a trader trying to survive in the middle of a storm of trades. Thank you for sharing the channel, for leaving a comment, a message, even just a few lines, but enough for me to know that someone, somewhere, was truly listening. Quiet trading would never have gone this far without you. The quiet but loyal audience, the ones who never made noise, yet always stayed. And it is you, not the view count, who kept my heart willing to tell real stories. Trading is a solitary journey. No one truly understands you unless they've also spent sleepless nights staring at an account bleeding red. And I'm here. This channel exists to tell you that you are not alone. Once again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from someone who once lost everything and chose to tell the story so others wouldn't have to walk the same road. I met him on an autumn night in Seattle. The air was cold, the bar was nearly empty. On the table, there were no charts, no computers, just a deck of poker cards and a gaze you couldn't tell was sorrowful or simply remembering. I came to the US with only a few $100s left in my account. I didn't come to travel, I came to run from myself. I had traded for 2 years. I took the most expensive courses. I read everything from Wyckoff to Smart Money. I was disciplined, I was patient. I believed I had done everything right. And yet the market still crushed me into pieces. I met him in a small bar, tucked away in a quiet part of Seattle. A middle-aged man, thin build, white shirt, wrinkled from never being ironed. He didn't say who he was, he didn't ask who I was. We just sat down across from each other, and he gently slid the deck of cards toward me. Poker isn't a game of cards. It's a game of knowing when to stay out. I smiled, a bitter smile. I asked if he was a trader. He answered without looking down, still strange and still distant. But not the way you'd think. We started playing. No money involved, just playing for the feeling. I played like someone hunting for a win. He played like someone waiting for me to make a mistake. I went all in a few hands. He folded. I raised in haste. He called, cold and slow. By the 12th hand, I had lost all my chips. He hadn't won anything, but I had lost everything. He set the deck down, looked straight at me for the first time, eyes as deep as a Seattle night. You just did exactly what 95% of traders do every day, betting without knowing who they're facing and rushing out for fear of missing out. He pulled his whiskey closer, took a small sip, then spoke again. I've lived off trading for 15 years. I'm not rich, but I'm free. I don't need fame, but my account has always been enough that I never have to work for anyone else. The secret isn't in the method, it isn't in the tools, and it isn't in reading the market. He paused, looked straight at me, and said one sentence. One sentence that even now, whenever I remember it, still sends a chill down my spine. It comes down to this: how many times can you fold in a row without losing your mind? Victory doesn't make you successful. The ability to wait for the right moment is what turns you into someone who actually makes money. I stayed silent. For the first time in my life, I didn't argue, didn't push back, didn't try to explain anything away, because I knew he was right. We left the bar close to midnight. He didn't leave a phone number, didn't connect, didn't teach me a single strategy. He only left behind a small piece of paper, folded into 4. On it were 10 short lines, each one a rule he lived by. I kept that paper the way you'd keep a survival map in the middle of a 4X battlefield. And today, I will tell them to you, each principle, each lesson, not as a lecture, but as someone who has gone ahead, handing something back to those standing at the edge. That night, after leaving him, I wandered through the alleys of Seattle. No bright lights, no voices, only the sound of my own footsteps echoing in the dark. And one question kept returning. Had I truly understood the market, or was I just trying to defeat something I had never really understood? I looked back at everything I had learned. I had believed in systems. I had believed in backtests, in risk-reward ratios, in technical patterns. But I had never believed in the market's silence. I had never trusted the uncertainty he left behind. He didn't teach me how to trade. He taught me something more painful. You lose not because of your method, but because you're not calm enough to wait for the right moment and not brave enough to fold when things aren't clear. I remember clearly the last thing he said before leaving. If you want to live by trading, you must learn how to sit for hours without placing a trade and still not feel useless. That is what a real trader is. I returned to my hotel room at 2 in the morning. I didn't open my laptop. I didn't turn on a chart. I just sat there, quietly, looking at the piece of paper he left behind. 10 lines. Each line felt like a cut into my old self, the arrogant self, the impatient self, always needing to act, never willing to stop and think. That night, I didn't sleep, not because of the market, but because I understood that if I kept trading the same way, I would soon be financially dead. I began rewriting my entire journey from the beginning. Every mistake, every psychological blow, I dissected them like a surgeon. And I realized no one had ever taught me how to trade as someone who had truly survived. They taught me how to make money fast, but no one taught me how to stay in the market long enough for the market to start paying me back. From that moment on, I changed, not because of a new indicator, not because of a new strategy, but because I saw myself differently. I was still a trader, but no longer a gambler. I began to wait, to observe, and to act only when things truly made sense. And the result was this. I no longer made money in explosive bursts that quickly burned out. I made money like an underground current, quiet, steady, impossible to stop. The market never rewards the impatient. It only pays those who understand the rules of the game and know how to wait for the right moment. And that is why I decided to tell these 10 lines again. Because I believe that if someone like me, who once collapsed completely, could still change, then you too can begin again from today. After that night, I returned as a different person. I no longer rushed into trades like someone thirsty for blood. I no longer glued my eyes to the charts for 14 hours a day just to hunt for a perfect setup. I began to observe myself more than I observed the market. The first line on the paper he left behind said this: "The one who is always searching for certainty will lose. The one who survives is the one who understands." Trading is a game of probability. I used to be that person, constantly asking, is this trade guaranteed to win? I didn't realize that the question itself was the trap, because nothing is ever guaranteed. There are only those who understand probability and who know when the odds lean in their favor. From that day on, I stopped looking for sure wins. I looked for favorable situations, and I acted only when the odds were worth the cost. The second line he wrote was, "Survival matters more than making money fast." It sounded simple, but at the time it felt like a slap across the face. I had been obsessed with how much this trade could make, to the point of forgetting that keeping my capital intact was what decided whether I could stay in the game at all. Winning traders don't succeed because they enter better than you. They succeed because they don't die early. I began trading with the mindset of someone who wanted to still be here 10 years from now, not someone trying to show off a weekend P&L. The third line was the one that shook me the most. Don't trade when your mind is unstable. Don't trade to escape your emotions. Back then, I had held positions after arguments. I had gone all in just to feel the rush of winning again. I had placed trades while my heart was still racing from a recent stop loss. I didn't understand that each of those clicks wasn't about making money, it was about soothing something broken inside me. I learned to shut the screen when a storm rose inside, to walk, to drink tea, to write a few lines in a notebook, to do anything except take revenge on the market. The fourth line was very short. Don't fight on too many fronts at once. Every trade is a life or death battle. I used to think trading many pairs increased my chances. Then I realized that spreading myself thin was exactly what destroyed my focus. I began choosing just one pair each day. I watched it closely. I wrote a clear plan, and when conditions were right, I entered like a sniper, steady, without hesitation. Strangely, my number of trades went down, but my profits began to rise. The next line was the one that made me feel the most ashamed. Once you set rules, don't break them, no matter what happens. I had written rules before. Don't trade during major news. But all it took was one beautiful candle, one moment of FOMO, and I broke them. I entered and was slapped hard by the market. I learned to be strict with myself, like a samurai guarding his honor, because I understood that nothing kills a trader faster than betraying his own rules. The seventh line was brutally practical. Always have a plan before clicking the mouse. Never enter first and think later. I trained myself to write everything down beforehand. If I enter here, where is my stop loss? Where is my take profit? If price moves against me like this, do I exit or not? I planned like a pilot checking an aircraft before takeoff, and because of that, every loss became easier to accept and every gain carried more meaning. The eighth line he underlined in red ink. Don't guess the top, don't catch the bottom, only act when the market shows a clear reaction. I used to be proud of catching reversals, but after 10 trades like that, my account was cut in half.
I learned to wait for price to react at important levels, to wait for confirmation candles, to wait for volume to truly expand. I no longer dreamed of hitting a jackpot. I only hoped not to be stupid, and that alone was already enough to make money. The 8th line completely changed my rhythm of life. Doing nothing is also a decision. I used to think that not taking trades was a waste of time, but he wrote that a true assassin is not the one who strikes the most, but the one who knows when to remain still in the shadows. I began to wait like a leopard stalking its prey, silent, patient, unshaken. And it turned out that the days I didn't trade were exactly what kept my account intact when the market became chaotic. The 9th line was very simple. Write everything down, because your memory will betray you. I began keeping a trading journal not for discipline, but because I wanted a real conversation with myself. I wrote down my emotions before entering a trade. I wrote why I entered. I also wrote why I was wrong after a loss. No excuses, no blame. And gradually, I began to see the same patterns repeating in my own behavior. I saw myself losing again and again because of the same old mistake. The final line left me silent for a long time after reading it. Don't think of yourself as a trader. Think like a risk manager running a small investment operation. I used to trade like a gambler, hot, irrational, and driven by feeling. Now I began to think like I was running a personal investment fund. Every trade was a deal. Every risk was a strategic decision. No more impulsiveness, no more haste. And you know what? After 3 months of living by those 10 principles, for the first time in my life, I went 3 months without blowing an account. No big wins, no dramatic highs, but the account grew steadily, calmly, without stress, without sleepless nights. A trader who makes money is not the most talented one. It is the one who knows where they are wrong and does not repeat that mistake again. There is one thing I realized after applying those 10 principles, not only in trading, but in daily life as well. Truly profitable traders are not better than you in analysis, not better than you in the number of hours they stare at screens. They are better at controlling themselves. You can learn chart patterns in a few days. You can understand order blocks, supply and demand after a few hours of watching videos. But it takes months, sometimes years, to learn how to refuse a sweet candy when it breaks the rules, to close your laptop and stand up after a stop loss without bitterness, to stay silent and observe for an entire week without feeling useless. No course teaches you that. No video tells you plainly that trading is not a place to express the ego. It is a place where you strip it away, layer by layer, and learn to accept the raw truth. Once, I cut a losing trade early because the market reacted differently from my initial expectation. A friend sitting next to me asked, "Why not hold it a bit longer? It might turn around." I answered with just one sentence, "I don't care whether the market is right or wrong. I only care whether I am still right with my own principles." And from that moment on, I knew I was no longer playing a game of chance. Do you know what's strangest of all? Since I began trading less, reacting more slowly, and no longer trying to make money at any cost, my account started growing faster than ever. Not in a straight line, but along a gentle curve, slow yet resilient. I don't need to win every day. I only need to win at the right time, in the right way, within the right system. Because I understand this now. The market doesn't reward the hardest worker. It rewards the one who can control himself the longest. And there's something I want to tell you honestly. If you feel stuck, you don't need to be exceptional to make money in this market. You only need to be more disciplined than the version of yourself from yesterday. A little each day, that's enough. Those 10 principles aren't magic spells. They won't turn you into a millionaire in 3 months. But if you live with them, breathe with them, and let them sink into every click of the mouse, one day you'll realize that trading is no longer a gamble. It's an art of self-control. And in that moment, you cross the line between an ordinary trader and someone who can truly live with the market. The background music slows, your heartbeat steadies. It feels like standing before a new door, ready to step into the next chapter. You've heard the 10 principles. You've felt something shift. Now I'll give you a very simple formula. You don't need to be good at everything. You don't need to know too much. You only need to do one thing right and do it better than 95% of the people out there. I used to be the kind of person who wanted to understand everything. I downloaded hundreds of indicators. I studied dozens of trading styles, price action, ICT, volume profile, harmonics, order flow. I believed that if I knew enough, I would win. But in the end, I realized something. No one wins because they know more. They win because they know what to let go. One day, I looked back at my hard drive, dozens of gigabytes of material, folders named after famous mentors, lines of EA code I had tested, and I asked myself, among all of this, is there anything I truly do well? The answer was no. I knew a lot, but nothing deeply enough to live on it. I remembered what that Japanese trader said. You don't need to be good at everything. Just choose one thing and dig until you reach its roots. From that moment, I chose again. I let go of everything unnecessary. I deleted all indicators. I left the noisy Telegram groups. I kept only one model, one risk management principle, and one habit. Writing a journal, trading every day. I turned it into a survival ritual, like a swordsman practicing his blade, like a gunman practicing his draw in the dark, alone every night. No ornamentation, no complexity. Just skill repeated long enough to become flesh and blood. And then something strange happened. I no longer feared losing trades. I no longer felt FOMO when others made money. I no longer wavered when the market turned noisy. Because I knew I was playing a long game with the one thing I truly understood. Like a wolf with a single bite, but every strike is fatal. Do you know what keeps people unstable in trading? It's not that they lack a method, it's that every week they switch to a different one. They're not wrong because they're stupid. They're wrong because they don't have the patience to dig deep into one thing until it answers every question. If today you feel lost, unsure what to study, whom to follow, what to believe, I'll tell you just one thing. Don't learn more. Choose one thing, then commit your life to it for at least 6 months. Dig deep enough and you'll see how all patterns connect. Trading doesn't favor the curious, it only pays the steadfast. I'm not good at everything. I can't even read every signal the market sends.
But there is one thing I do better than most people. I only step in where I have an edge, and I am patient enough to sit and wait for that moment to appear. If you ask me where to begin again, I would say this. Start by stripping away everything that isn't necessary. Keep just one thing and let it lead you into becoming a trader in the truest sense. Because in the end, the one who makes money is not the one who knows the most, but the one who understands one thing deeply and does it better than everyone else. I used to think the market was a maze. Every time I lost, I opened another door, learned another system, another way to analyze, another set of tools. But the more doors I opened, the more lost I became. The more I knew, the more confused I felt. Until I stopped and watched those who truly live off the market, and I realized something that left me stunned. They don't do much. They don't make things complicated. And most importantly, they don't chase something new every week. I asked one of them, a trader who had lived off the market for more than 10 years, what system he used. He answered, just basic price action. But I've used it long enough to understand both when it works and when it betrays me. That sentence left me silent. I suddenly understood that what I needed wasn't a stronger system, but a more solid version of myself. Before, I always thought I needed to know more. Now, I'm learning to reduce. Fewer trading pairs, fewer indicators, fewer Telegram groups, less YouTube, less anxiety. And then I realized the simplest things are often the strongest foundations. Like a martial artist who practices one punch for 10 years, or an archer who aims at a single target for a lifetime. A trader's strength doesn't lie in the number of weapons they have, but in how deeply they've mastered one tool. I remember something the man in Japan once said, something I only truly understood much later. The market may change, but if your mind doesn't, then one simple principle is enough to carry you to the end of the game. That was when I let go of the idea that I had to be good at everything. I stopped trying to become an all-around trader. I only wanted to become someone who understands one strategy that truly fits me. A strategy I can follow, control, and accept in both its light and its darkness. The truth is, trading isn't a competition of knowledge. It's a test of long-term commitment to a method so simple it almost feels boring. Whoever gets bored first loses. Whoever remains steadfast to the end stays. I began rewriting everything from the beginning. I called my strategy a private path, unimpressive, unscientific, uncreative.
Every trade I place is one I understand as clearly as the palm of my hand. And every trade I lose, I know exactly why I lost and what I must do to keep it from happening again. There is nothing more solid than a trader who knows what he is doing and knows why he is doing it. Not because someone else said so, not because a Telegram group rushed in together, but because I've seen it clearly through years of real experience. You don't need to become a genius. You only need to become someone simple enough and steadfast enough. And if you still haven't found your own thing, stop. Shut off all the noise outside and ask yourself, do I want to go fast or do I want to go far? If you choose to go far, then perhaps you already know what you need to do. We enter the market with hope, but those who survive are the ones who learn to bury their early illusions and continue with a different state of mind. It's no longer about how much you make each day, no longer about the perfect entry, no longer about which system has the highest win rate. It becomes about this: how do I avoid betraying myself every time I place a trade? How do I win by staying honest with who I am? How do I sit in front of the screen without my hands shaking from the fear of losing control? In the end, trading is not a game of making money. It is a mirror that reflects who you are. Every time you're angry, the market exposes it. Every time you're greedy, the market takes away what you have. Every time you're uneasy, the market forces you to hold positions until you go numb. And every time you learn to let go of your ego, the market begins to pay you back. No one pats you on the shoulder when you're sitting in a losing trade. No one applauds when you cut a loss according to your rules. But you will feel something shift. You begin to trust yourself, not because you always win, but because you're living in alignment with the mindset of a professional. I don't know where you are on this journey. Maybe you've just blown an account. Maybe you're sitting there right now listening to this podcast at midnight with the price charts still dancing beside you. But I know one thing: you are searching for a real path. And if today just one sentence in this video makes you pause, makes you rethink, makes you decide to stop chasing the lures out there, then I believe this journey has not been meaningless. I don't promise you will become a millionaire after watching this video. I don't promise you will win consistently every week, and I won't pretend this path is easy. But I am certain of one thing: there will be a sentence, a moment, or a principle that makes you never look at trading the same way again.
And when that happens, you've crossed to the other side, the side of real traders. If you're ready to begin that journey, watch this video again and again, not to learn more, but to remember who you want to become. Finally, I want to thank you, the one who stayed until the very last minute. Not everyone makes it this far, but if you've walked the whole way, I believe that one day you'll return to this place, no longer as a listener, but as someone telling your own story.